Good afternoon and welcome to the next episode that every parent must know. So, welcome you all for today's session. And today's session reveals that every parent must look at your child with a smile on the face. So, if you are willing to be with me for the next 60 minutes, I would like the parents to go through a session wherein they could learn to understand how one could be finding their children smiling always. This is Methil Krish talking to you from the headquarters of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, Ettimadai, Coimbatore, and once again, on behalf of our university, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, it's my pleasure to be with you again for the slot of the episode every parent must know. Fortunately, instead of me talking to you for the next 60 minutes, I felt that let me bring in a mother, a parent, let me bring in a parent whom I'd like to introduce now. Let me get on to that parent. Yes, here she is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she is
Good afternoon.
Dr.Mythily. And she's a parent herself. She has a daughter, a smart daughter who plays on guitar, because I see her most of the times with the guitar. That doesn't mean she doesn't open the books, but then she's a good guitarist. So welcome, Dr. Mythily, for this exclusive show to the parents that
Thank
every
you, sir.
parent must know. I would like to start off with few of my doubts with Mythily, and most of the doubts are concerned with a parent. And I will relate it with the current situation, what is going on across the globe, and especially in the Indian context. Mythily hails from the God's own country, the state of Kerala. I think you are in the Kollam district, if I'm right. Kollam district, isn't it? Yeah, she's from the Kollam district. Now, she has quite a few feathers on her cap. I can keep narrating her achievements, but what really attracted me to bring her into this discussion today is about her passion towards women empowerment, as well as counseling parents of the adolescents, children, that is the teenagers. And it is whether one is a teenager or one is not a teenager, handling children is an art or is a science by itself. So let us utilize the exposure and the expertise our guest has for quite a few years, because she herself is a counselor. She has pulled out many parents from the so-called word in English, depression. And a depression due to their own children, I would call it as misbehavior, or not listening to parents, or taking into wrong directions in life. So she is an expert in the field of counseling both the children as well as the parents. So thank you so much, Mythily, for being with us for this most sorted after episode maybe it is seventh or eighth episode, and I've been coming here for the last seventh episode. I stand corrected. I keep coming on Saturdays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to give some sort of GAN to the parents, because I believe and I still understand and appreciate that parenting is a very, very, very tough task. And there is no institute. Probably we should look at starting a new institute where we teach parents to be like parents. So we need to have a training center. I think that would be my dream, that we start up a training center where our parents learn to be the true parents. So here is Dr.Mythily with us. So I generally don't like to question people, but I would call it as clarifying my own doubts, which crops up every now and then, and that too many in the last 4 to 5 months after the lockdown. Let me ask you something, Mythily, to start off with. May I start, Mythily? May I start?
My
May I start?
pleasure.
You are ready, right? So my first clarification with you was, when the lockdown was announced by the government, by the central government, or even government of Kerala, when you heard the word lockdown, right? What was your first thought in your mind? That what is this lockdown? How many days it's going to be? You had absolutely no clue as to what this lockdown was all about. But then you stayed back home, you made your family stay back home, you listened, obeyed to the instruction given by the government of India and the government of Kerala. You've been an obedient citizen of our country, no doubt about it. But when the word lockdown struck your ears, what was your first feeling? And what is your feel at the moment? Over to you, Mythily, to explain to the viewers as to what was your thought then and what is your thought now. Over to you. Let's listen to you.
So first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to interact with many parents right now through the very beautiful platform of Amrita. And as you was discussing with me right now, the moment when I heard the word lockdown and when we thought of sitting at home, as a working parent, initially I was so happy because I'm going to get lots of time with my family, with my children, and with my all loved ones. That's what my first experience or first thought. But as the time went on like that, situations started changing. Because now we are in such a situation that we are not sure when this is going to get to an end, or when this is going to be in a good position that we can also move out freely as we were doing initially. So now what happened is everybody is so curious, including me. I'm also so curious, like when that old days will come back. We are waiting for that, to roam around as free as you were used to, or travel, or many other things. Go back to your normal activities, which we were into before this started. Everyone is like that. That's what I feel so.
Yeah. As you rightly said, when it was announced that most of us were very happy that we are going to be at home with the family, but we never felt that things are going to change to this situation today. We feel like moving out, but then we are not allowed to move out. A lot of restrictions. So I know things are bad, but that's okay. Let's face it. Now, Mythily, that was the first clarification. Could you just brief about yourself, the journey of yours into the current position what you are? The last I heard was you are a chief executive officer of a company. You're working as the head of the company. And recently, what I used to see you is you've been adding more of videos on parenting into the Facebook, and I used to keep watching that. And I did mention then that I would request you to come over for our program like this. So it's a wonderful job that you're guiding our parents to learn a lot of new things in managing our children, guiding them for a better life. But before we do get into a few more clarification, just can we hear from you as to what was your journey? And I also remember that you're from you have mentioned to me that you are from the Palakkad district and you had your schooling in one of those government schools, one of the best schools in not
Chittoor.
Palakkad, in
Chittoor.
Kerala itself. That's the Victoria Girls School, right? Is that what you mentioned? Correct. See, my memory isn't that bad. So maybe starting from then till now, I would like to hear from you, as well as our viewers, your journey from your school days to whatever you are today. Over to you, Michael.
As you said, exactly, I was studying in that government Victoria Girls High School, which is located in Chittoor. It's a small village in, I belong to a small village in Palakkad, which is named as Nelipilli. And Chittoor is very near, 6 kilometers away from Nelipilli. And I had my schooling, basic schooling there at Victoria Girls High School. It's very nice, government school, Malayalam medium instruction. After that, I did my college education also in Palakkad, and I worked sometime for a business publication division of Indian Express at Coimbatore, and then I got married and shifted to Karunagapalli. Karunagapalli, initial days, I was also working at Amrita here at Vallikava. And after that, I joined a private firm at Cochin. And at the same time, I had just completed my PhD also in management, especially in women empowerment. The topic was like HR implementation in textile industry, especially on the women entrepreneurship, based on the women entrepreneurship. That's what my career was.
But what really prompted you, Mythily, to keep adding, uploading a lot of videos and parenting? How did this passion towards parenting come to you? Like, did you go through some struggles in life as a parent, or did you find some parents struggling in life and you thought, let me go ahead and help few parents to come out of those struggles? So there must be some trigger by which you started talking in front of the camera and uploading those videos. And let me compliment you for that. Every video that you have put onto the Facebook has its own special values. So congratulations on
Thank you
and
so
very well
much.
presented. I'm really indeed delighted and happy to keep watching those videos. May not be making comments on those videos, but personally I'm totally impressed the way you present those videos, which I'm sure many of the parents would have gone through and would have helped them in some way or the other to get out of the struggle. So, what is the reason for you to get on to helping the parents to come out from what I would say, whatever situations they are in? Over to you, Mythily.
So to start with, actually, the thought of parenting has come very instantaneously. Just because of the lockdown, I thought of sharing it through videos. That was the first instance when I thought of YouTube videos. Actually, initially, but from my college days or from my when I started my career after giving birth to my daughter, then only I started pursuing my PhD also. So whatever I faced, that's the same situation every ladies are facing, every mothers are facing actually. When they study after giving birth to our childrens, and when kids are growing up and you are getting involved in your family life and looking after your children, and again going for work, along with that you are studying also. All these roles has to go, or all these roles has to be balanced. Otherwise, wherever you are losing that balance, that area get affected very badly. That's what is happening to the youngsters right now. That's what I feel. As a mother, I feel that. So all of a sudden, when this lockdown has started, I was managing my daughter at home. At the same time, I thought, okay, her friends, how they are doing things, how they are spending time at home, things like that. And many of them spoke to me on phone asking what is the my daughter's name is Tirtha, so what is she doing, how she's spending time at home. As you said, she plays guitar and all, but apart from that, other timing, how. So then I thought of starting off this YouTube initiative for just helping few mothers at least to get to know how they can manage their kids at home when we have to work from home. We are not sitting idle. We are working from home at the same time our children, total time they are with us. So that time how to utilize very we are helping. I thought of helping few parents at least to manage their kids without any further struggles at home. When you are there, you need to cook, you need to look after all your household activities. Along with that, you are working right now from home. That is the situation.
Wonderful. I think that's a good thought, and I'm very happy that you're doing some sort of community service also in helping the parents to get away from the current situation. Now, initially, as you said, you were indeed happy about children being at home and family being at home because of lockdown. But over a period of time, suddenly we find the trends are changing. The schools are not reopened, but they are open, right? But the children are not supposed to go to school, but they are supposed to sit at home and study. And at school, they used to sit with the friends, but now they have to sit with the parents. And if you really look at the current situation, Mythili, if you really go deeper into a child, they're all distressed, they're all depressed, they're all under stress because they're doing something which they're not used to. Come on, for me, going to school is having fun. You also would have gone to school to have fun. I remember when I used to go to school, I was waiting for my school bus to come. We used to have a lot of friends and we used to bully them. We used to have laughter, entertainment, reach the school, right? By the time the assembly bell rings, you rush to the assembly, we sing the prayer, get back to the classes, right? We make fun of our friends in the classroom, we fight with each other. It is totally scenario which everyone loves to be, right, in that particular situation. But today, what is happening, my friend? Early morning, I feel, the children are given test at 6 o'clock in the morning. The children used to get up at 8 o'clock, has to be ready by 5:30. They have to sit in front of the camera for 3-4 hours, and they're not able to concentrate looking at one single screen. In some places, it's only a smartphone. In some houses, it's only a laptop. The screens are less, right? You can't turn your head here. You can't turn your head, right? So there is some sort of pulling the child's morale by itself in the last couple of months. But nothing else we can do. We need the education, the learning has to go on. So within the availability of sources, the live streaming is a must. I mean, that has to go on. Otherwise, you can't expect our children to sit at home for next 4 months without opening the books, without studying. But under these circumstances, as a mother, how do you handle your child? And for our other mothers, right? Because each parenting is different. It is not one size for all. So under these circumstances, how did you handle your child, your daughter? And what are the advices or the suggestions or the directions or the guidelines you can give to those parents who have their children at home going through this online classes? Over to you, Michael.
First, initially we have to understand one factor, that the total routine has been changed for the kids, especially even for us. But we are elders, we have to look into our system in a separate way. But as far as the kids are concerned, children are into total anxiety or total stress, as you said, or some pressure for them, because they always love to go to school, be with their friends and chit chat with them and sit with them and spend time apart from learning. What is not happening right now? They are just learning from a small screen, as you said, maybe few from mobile phones, few from laptops, and others are from TV. State government is having classes on TV. But they miss all the activities which is associated with the learning. Learning is not only they are not spending time only to the lecturing hours at school. During the school hours, they do participate in many activities and they do spend lots of time with their friends, classmates, and even, as you said, entering into the school bus itself is an experience. sitting and chatting with many people, many kids, elders, and things like that. That is totally stopped. So kids are, even though the classes started, children are not really happy. Some classes are, as you said, it is in the early morning hours, like not in the regular hours. Some classes are late in the evenings, after 6 o'clock. Some schools are providing classes even after 6 o'clock. So the kids are not in a streamlined positions, or there is no time span, proper time span or timetable for them. Even during their activities, they are still in a vacation mood, like they are staying back at home, no other work, even they are not able to go out of their house. People staying in the apartments or flats are more and more stressed, as far as I am able to know, because they are not even able to go down to the flat playing area or something because of this social distancing and the fear of spreading the disease. So kids are in some other mood right now. We need to handle them very carefully.
Yes, Mythily, like for example, see, how long can you drag a students towards this live classes? I want to ask you about your daughter. Is she very keen to attend the live class? I mean, in the sense, hope she's not around you, but is she very keen? Does she really wait for that particular 9 o'clock to come so that she goes and sits in front of the television or sits in front of the telephone to attend to the live class? How much is the interest towards these live classes? I just want to ask you this. Is the interest on? Are they waiting for these classes? I want an yes or no.
Not really.
Not really. Okay, fine. If that's the case, if that's the case, over a period of time, when these classes keep going on, I'm sure the children will. I'm telling you, few percentage of children, not with everyone. Few of the children. I'm looking at those set of children. They will start hating these classes. It's like, giving. Though all these are given like medicine. No medicine is sweet, right? No medicine is sweet, but your parent forces you so that you get well soon. So this live streaming is all medicines. Initially, they may not like it, but it's all for their own good. But many of them understand that. But I am only going to focus on those few students who would hate this. That's number one. Number two, there are many of our children who do not have this facility. Like, for example, the government announces saying that we are going to put it on television, we are going to put it on that net, we are going to put it on that channel. But if you look at, maybe like for example, Kerala, you have a literacy rate, you say 100%, but still the literacy rate is somewhere around 93.5 to 94% is the literacy rate. But everyone do not have the facility. And I understand even district like that of yours in Palakkad or in Malappuram, I'm not very sure, that one of the girl students committed suicide, saying that, hey, come on, I don't have a TV at home. So it's sad for a parent to lose a child. And all this is happening, many of those things are happening. Like, for example, if you look at Kerala, because you hail from Kerala, you are there in Kerala. 66 out of, in the last 4 months or so have committed suicide. And if all this is happening, Mythily, I think we need to give a special attention to this. Forget your COVID. COVID is always there. I always feel when I talk to the experts, there is no post-COVID. Because COVID, you have to live with the COVID. I mean, it's not going to leave and say, hey, bye-bye, I'm leaving India. It's not going to happen. So we need to live, we need to immune ourselves to face the COVID in the next 3-4 years. This is what my personal assumption and prediction is all about. And it's very sad to lose child. I mean, I want to talk on this subject because I always see that a child to commit suicide, I wouldn't say it is a brave act, no. But then somebody is forced to do that, Mythily, that, I myself is a victim to thinking of committing suicide. I am sure whether you know about it. I'm talking about my childhood. I was in Palakkad. I was studying in a Malayalam medium school as much as you studied, and my dad was in CRPF. He was transferred to a place called Avadi, and I joined a Kendriya Vidyalaya from 6th to 7th standard. And in Kendriya Vidyalaya, those times, in Avadi, it was school of Kendriya Vidyalaya, heavy vehicles factory, where you have students from all states of India, whether he's from north, east, west. So everyone speaks English and Hindi, and I didn't know one word in English. It's confess, I didn't know one word in English. Even if you ask me what's your name, I will just smile. That was my. And seventh standard, I was put in, and every friend of mine used to come and talking in those stylish way of saying, "Hi, how are you, man?" And I used to literally blink. And every friend of mine in Kendriya Vidyalaya used to look at me and laugh at me because I couldn't speak English. And forget Hindi. हिंदी में तो एक भी शब्द मुझे आता नहीं था. अब अगर हिंदी में आप कुछ सवाल पूछेंगे ना, एक सवाल का जवाब मैं नहीं दे पाता. And it was that Krish those times in the year 1969-70. And I couldn't bear this insult. I'm sorry, I would like to open it out. I couldn't bear the insult when I reached my classroom. Every friend of mine used to look at me and smile because Krish couldn't speak in English. Forget English, Hindi also. Sanskrit, not one single word. Aham gacchami, wo gacchami, Rama, 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 Rama. And I was promoted by mistake, by the school, to 8th standard. So when I went to 8th standard, every friend of mine in 8th standard were looking at me as if some sort of, Dracula has come to the classroom. Said, who the hell promoted you to 8th standard, man? You cannot speak one single word in English. You cannot speak one word in Hindi. Who the hell promoted you? What is wrong with the school? What is wrong with the principal? Everybody used to look at me, like this and laugh at me. I cannot go and tell my dad because my dad was the police woman. I tell my dad, who asked you to send me from that lovely school in Palakkad where we all used to enjoy life to a school like this where I go every day. Every friend of mine looks at me and keeps laughing. Laughing and laughing and laughing, Mythily. And I decided in 1970 in 8th standard, और कोई रास्ता नहीं है मुझे. I have no other way to survive. The only way to survive is to end my life. This is me. This is me. 1970s. But then, I always respected my class teacher, Mrs. Susan Chaco, in my 8th standard. Such a lovely, she's not just a teacher, she's more than a teacher. She's like my own mother. I went to the I'm just narrating this. I have questions for you, so please don't go away because I'm talking. And I went to this class teacher of mine, Mrs. Chaco, and said in Malayalam because I couldn't convey. I couldn't communicate in English. I said, teacher, there are many of them from other parts of our country. I said, teacher, I'm not going to come to school from tomorrow. Then teacher asked me, what are you going to do in Malayalam? I said, I am going to commit suicide. And you know what the teacher said? The teacher told me that day, which I like to repeat in every talk of mine to the students and parents who are listening to me. And the teacher said, bloody fella, you don't know what is suicide. And she explained to me about suicide. Suicide is a permanent solution for a temporary problem. I repeat, suicide is a permanent solution for a temporary problem. And every human being across the globe cannot say that one cannot raise the hand and say, I have no problem at all. And she mentioned one more thing, every human being will have a problem. And if you don't have a problem, that itself is a problem. So parents, every parent will have a problem. Please understand this. You can't escape problems. And she mentioned one thing, that if you commit suicide, it is not that you are going to suffer for the rest of your life because you lost your life. It is your parents who are going to suffer. Because I know you are a parent, I am a parent. We can see, I have seen my dad and mom passing away. I've seen the dead body of my parents. But I'm sure the parents who are listening to us today cannot ever imagine seeing that in one's life. And I pray God that should never happen. So that intelligence, that knowledge must go into our children. But then when my teacher said that it's going to impact your parents for rest of the life if you commit this cowardly act of suicide, it's your parents who are going to suffer for rest of the life. And that hit me here. And I said, I won't commit suicide. And that's me, Mythily. And what is your take from me? And how can Mythily must be like my teacher, Mrs. Susan Chaco, who can tell us, being a counselor, being a psychologist, how can you predict, how can you see that the child is in a different mood today? And if you find the child to be in a different mood, how can we get that child into that normal mode instead of, peaking it up further and further and save a life of a child? I know you have many points with you, I'm sure about it, because you have counseled many of them. And this is the main reason I'm here with you today, man. And this is the main reason, because it's very sad to say 66 is the statistics in the last 3 months. And 66 into 2, right? 132 parents will be crying every day for the loss of the child. And what wrong did those parents do? To cry every day from morning till evening, from evening till next day morning. What did they do wrong? I want this to stop. I want to put a full stop to this, and if you can, let us know to get out of the situation. That's why I said, make every child smile at all times. And that smile is contagious. The parents keep smiling. But if a child doesn't smile, there is some reason to it. And they will put you. I know you're getting angry with me because I keep talking. I'm sure about it. All right? You're like a child of mine, so I can take some time from you. I want you to now go step by step to our parents for them to understand how to make your child smile. And the smile blows onto you as a parent. So we don't lose children. It's very sad, Mythily, right? Unless somebody, I don't want anybody to experience, but that 132 parents who have lost their children from March 25th, right, till now, it is unbelievable, unbelievable. We can't afford to lose children. I'm sorry. And whoever is responsible, we should take it as challenge. We will stop it. Over to you, Mythily. Please go ahead.
As you discussed, sir, I was, as you said, exactly what happened is starting off online classes, sitting at home, all these frustrations together, or depression mode, or whatever anxiety these students have. All these are bringing them to a conclusion that suicide will be the best solution for that. That's what is happening right now. As you said, the statistics are very correct, 66 students below 18 years, that is very important, below 18 years committed suicide from the date of March 25th till July 10th.
That's terrible. Below 18 years, my God.
Below 8, yes.
Oh, wow. My God, it's sad, very sad.
So here we have to think of, or here we have to, as a parent, we need to give more attention towards our kids. That's what I feel always. See, all their routine has been spoiled, and they are not supposed to move out of the house. They are inside your 4 walls of your house, staying for a long time like this, like more than 4 to 5 months, they are inside your house. They are not able to go around. They are not able to meet their friends. They are not able to communicate even properly. All these creates mental stress and strain for them. We need to understand that first. As a parent, we need to understand our kids first. How many of us, I wanted to ask you personally, how many of us are spending time with our kids, talking to them very personally, or sitting with them very personally for at least a half an hour per day?
I think even I don't. At least now we have enough time now. Earlier you can say you're busy with your work, your friends, you have a lot of things to do. If somebody says you don't have time today to spend with your children, I think we should hit them. I think we must hit them. Even before, I agree with you that had we spent some, valuable time with our children, I mean, they feel so happy. I think you're right. You hit the nail on the coffin. I think spending time is the first step. I think personally, right, you must be with them only, both of you. The parent means the dad and the mom with the child, right? It's not just having a cup of coffee or it's not having dinner, spending time or moving out for a movie. Now you can't go for a movie, but this is not spending time because when you go for a movie, the dad, mom, the children, all four watch. So that is not spending time. So if you can tell us, Mythili, how do we spend time with the children which they would enjoy, rather than we enjoy. How do they enjoy the time you spend? How do we go about spending time? I think there is where you need to spend some time.
So initially, I can start from the beginning of a day. Can we just make them give them a routine of making them wake up along with you, or maybe if you are waking up at 5 o'clock, okay, let them sleep up to 7 o'clock or something like that. Ask them to get up. Why can't you just all of us are together right now at home? Parents are with the kids right now, so why can't we just include them during our exercises, morning walks, or yoga, whatever we are doing, or whatever they are interested also? We can just tell them like, okay, if you are doing, I personally, if I do my yogas in the morning, yoga lessons in the morning, I can very well bring my ask my daughter to join me. Initially, they'll hesitate for sure. They'll tell, no, Amma, I'm not interested. But when you make them involved in your activities, they will definitely, that is what is, I feel myself as a parent, it is proved. Because if I am there in the kitchen, or if a parent is there in the kitchen, can you just give them small tasks according to their age? That increases their involvement in the daily life along with the household activities, which is very interesting for the kids. Even if you are telling, no, she doesn't know how to make a tea, unless you are showing them and you are making them come with you and stand with you in the kitchen, how they are going to learn. That is the first thing. Earlier days, we were living in a joint family. Now it is not like that. Joint family means everywhere there will be like a grandmas, grandpas, Apupan and Amumai, you call them in Malayalam. They'll be there with you to guide you, to tell you stories, and to teach you lessons, or to teach you some prayers or something like that. Now the situation is totally changed. You are living, only husband, wife, and their kids are there at home. So husband is busy with his works, mother is busy with her schedules, cooking. After that, her works for the office hours. What is this kid supposed to do? They are having their e-learning classes, as you said, like online classes are there only for 2 hours, 3 hours. Many schools conduct only for 2 to 3 hours. So after that 3 hours, what she or he is doing, as a parent, you should be aware that they are getting lots of time. Playing time is restricted inside the house. All their outing, like for movies or dinner, they are not going at all from the house. So what are they doing? What are they supposed to do? As a parent, we should also try to understand their feelings. Because after the online class, the kid, many of the students, many of the children are now what is happening is, they are taking the iPad or whatever they have. Social media is okay. Social media and interactions are very good, but there is a limit. Children doesn't know how to use it very carefully. After, some suicides, when you go through that statistics, many of the cases has come out like, mother scolded a girl child for possessing a mobile phone without her knowledge. Without parents' knowledge, that girl child was possessing a mobile phone. That was one case for committing a suicide. So,
where did she get the mobile from?
See, that is what I'm coming into.
The mobile costs you something around 5,000 rupees if you want a smartphone.
mother knows only right now, but she is possessing it from long back.
Okay.
That is the situation. So mothers, parents are also not aware what is happening. See, if my child is going and sitting, going and sitting inside a room and closing the door for many hours, like 1 hour or 2 hours, it's my responsibility to knock and see or go and see. That's what I feel always as a parent.
So I think that's a good suggestion. Like if you find your child closing the bedroom and sitting there without coming out, maybe for 45 minutes to 1 hour, parents must not feel that she's preparing for examination or she's preparing. She would be preparing. I'm not saying
Yes.
that, but it is the responsibility of the parent to go and knock and say, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you studying?" I think instead of leaving it for 2 3 hours and finally she comes out for lunch, again she goes back. So there could be something beyond learning. Is that we must be suspicious because see, Mythili, you see any parent, my child will not do that. You heard. I have said about my daughters will not do that. You would say about your daughter, oh, my daughter will not do that. But you mean to say that we must always have a suspicious look at our children so that they are safe. Instead of saying, not my child, not my child. What is you want to say something? I know you didn't like my word suspicious. I know. Over to you.
It's not the suspicion, it's your responsibility as a parent. It is like you know to know what is their duties, and that is a strange behavior. Like it's being alone for a long time is a strange behavior among the kids nowadays, among the children nowadays. They wanted to see even if they wanted to see a movie, they wanted to sit alone and see the movie. No, it's not acceptable. Actually, it's very strange. All of us are having dinner together. uh, if you see, like one house, all of them are sitting together for dinner daily. One day this girl is telling, oh, I don't feel hungry, so you can have, I am not having dinner. So it's, as far as me concerned, it's all mothers or parents' duty is to observe the child very closely. It's not just because of suspicion, it's because of the surroundings and the things getting affected. They are mentally stressed, they are mentally, like, sometimes pressure is there for them from some external factors, many factors, social, as I told you, Facebook, all these WhatsApp and things like that creates good awareness also. At the same time, that is getting into another one, extreme situations nowadays among the children.
I think monthly we take a lot of. I mean, it's parenthood is something. It needs a lot of patience. It certainly needs a lot of time. It certainly needs a lot of understanding about your child, the behavioral aspect, and we bring up the child. We give them a life. We make them independent. We get them married. They have a family, and I believe parenthood is a profession by itself, which has no retirement. Because I don't think your mom would say, "Hey, come on, Mythili, I made you independent. You are now living happily with your family. I'm retiring as a mother of yours." No, it doesn't happen. Because I know that for a mother or a father or a parent, right, even if dad is 90 years and the daughter is, let's say 60 years, the dad considers daughter still a small little baby, because the dad has seen the little daughter growing from nowhere to somewhere, and so much of love, so much of affection, so much of care, immaterial of the age the parents take. But what happens to the parent finally? Because when I go to schools, I keep going to schools because I didn't go well when I was a student. So now at least I go to schools for Amrita, talking to students. And I happen to go to your school also quite a few times in Chittor. I love that school because the students are, quite smart. No wonder you're also from that school. So I keep going to schools and I keep asking about how much you love your parent. They said so much, so much, so much. And all those are there till they are as a child, but once they grow as a parent by themselves, you currently hear a situation is changing where the children who used to love their parents up to their degree, till their marriage, till they become parents, they love the parents so much, they come and meet them. But beyond, after some time, in most of the cases, I would say many of the cases, in most of the cases, the children who used to love find old age homes for the parents. Where the parents, when they get old, they need some assistance, not financially, some assistance from them if possible. But what do you think about the current change of scenario wherein the children send their parents to old age home? Though the parents don't show this outside that they are unhappy, in the same vicinity, the child with a family stays in the house, but the dad and mom stays 5 kilometers away at an old age home. What do you think about this? Is it right? Or if it is not right, why do the children change their mentality in sending their parents when the parents need the children more to the old age homes? How do you think about it? And what is your take or what is your call on this? Over to you, Mythily, for your openness in this particular discussion. Over to you.
As you said, sir, I am also aware of many cases where this is happening right now. But have you ever thought, including me, I will become old one day and my daughter or son is doing the same to me, how it will affect you? That is a thought every parent should have, every daughter or son should have. That's what I feel. It's see now when you come across, again we are back to that data, 66 children committed suicide. Many, at least 10% of it involves domestic violence, like domestic abuse. Below 18 years of age I'm talking about. So here comes the value of a bigger family, or whatever you call it as. Now it is all micro families, but if you are staying with your grandparents or fathers or mothers or something like that, the value of the family automatically get increases. See, now my daughter is in the 7th standard. Always when the grandfather is telling no to her for something, she'll get agitated. Like, why he is telling always a no to me? He's telling no, don't watch TV for a long time. No, don't go to the computer don't use the computer for a long time. Why, Amma? Why he's asking me so? But see, we need to understand one thing. At least grandfather is much more involved in her activities, where we are becoming a failure in that area, because I am involved in my activities, my cooking activities, my working activities and things like that, where I am not getting time to look after my child in a specific manner, so that I will be able to know what is she doing and for how many hours she is watching TV, or how many hours she is sitting and keeping her laptop open and things like that. Here comes that value, added value, where if you are living with a grandparents, the total lifestyle changes. Many of us like youngsters are not aware of it, to be frank. Like, we think always it is a burden. Okay, Amma is not feeling well, I need to take her to the hospital, so I need to take a leave. Why should I spend time for her? That's what is my feeling, or our feeling. Youngsters always feel like that, but it is very dangerous. When you become, we are not going to live like this always, right? We are also getting old. So our children are seeing this. Okay, my mom or dad is not attached to my grandparents. They are at old age home. He just goes for their birthday to celebrate birthday in the old age home, and he takes me also. See, that child's mentality develops like that. So So old age home is a place where elders used to stay. That is what is the child's thinking goes like that. So he or she is developing the same attitude towards his parents in the older days. That is what is going to happen. See, now we all are suffering because of this COVID or whatever pandemic. We are all at home. How many of us are missing our grandparents right now or parents right now? The kids are really missing because they used to spend 2 months summer vacation. Many of them used to go to grandparents' place, which never happened this year because we were not allowed to travel a lot. So all those kids are now, because of the video call or WhatsApp video calls or many other platforms, they are at least able to see the faces, but still these people are unhappy. Kids are really unhappy that they are not able to play with the grandparents. They are not able to spend more time. All this is like giving them a mental disorder. Small obstacles happens inside their mind. Whatever we are telling, it is not going to affect them. It is affecting them, at least inside their mind, which we are not able to recognize. As a parent, we have to think of it always. The presence. See, I am working, my husband is working. If my daughter or son is coming by 4 o'clock to house, it is his duty to take the key from the security supervisor or someone, open the door, take the food which is lying on the fridge or something and have it and go to study. That is what is the practice happening in many of the cities right now. But whereas if your parents are there at home, how secure these kids are? Have you ever thought of that security which grandparents are giving? We should always think that it is, we used to tell, no sir, like always granddaughter or grandson is the most favorite person of a elderly people. They love them more than.
Absolutely. I think you're right in what you're saying, that I have seen a child brought up by the grandparents. They're far better than a child brought up by their parents. Now, grandparents play a big role in shaping the child.
Very big role.
Yeah, in the sense, like my grandma used to say those Ramayana, Mahabharatas, and all those, that everyday stories and all those things, value-based stories. So you tend to grow with those value-based education. But today, how many of our children read, Mahabharatas and Ramayanas, those epics, which certainly shapes even Qurans and Bibles, whatever it is, all those religious books. So hardly it is done today. So I agree with the fact that a child brought up by the parents, a child brought up by the grandparents, they are here. So that is what it is. So I have just about 5 more minutes to go. A very important question to conclude our discussions, Mythily. Your state, my state, our state, Kerala. If you look at the statistics which we are talking about, the deaths, the suicides, but if you look at one more statistics, which not the latest statistics, but the statistics which have been maybe a few years back, the highest number of child sexual abuse is happening in Kerala. The highest. And number 2 is Tamil Nadu, from where I am now. It's pathetic. These abuses during their age, smaller age, will lead them towards a different personality when they grow up. What are the advices? You being a parent, you having a daughter, how can we be safe? One is okay, educating our people about all this, that's okay. But what are your instructions? Forget about this is instructions to safeguard our children from child sexual abuse. How do we do that so that none of our little children get into this? It's not just children. I mean, it's not nice to talk openly, but it's a fact that it's a baby 1 year, getting raped. I can't even believe it, Mythily. I mean, I don't know how it happens, but when you read all this, oh my God, you can't believe it. So how can we keep our children? I think I would blame the parents to a great and large extent on this. I'm sorry to state this. I'm extremely sorry if the parents have to hit me with slippers, they can hit me. But 90%, they create an opportunity for others to react so rudely and badly with our children. But what is your take? And what is your suggestion so that our little children are safe, are really safe? Over to you, Michael.
As you were telling, sir, here comes the importance of spending time with your kids, not spending time with taking them to a movie or a restaurant. That is different. Actual value based education has to start from your home. That's what is very important. You need to teach your daughter. See, I am having a daughter. I need to teach her what is right, what is wrong. Kids doesn't know as they grow up or when they are small, they doesn't know whom to trust, whom to understand. They don't know what type of hug is a normal hug or a separate stress, that feelings, how to recognize that feelings. That is a mother's duty always. I will not hold the father also. See, I am more interested in women entrepreneurship also. That's why I'm telling, a lady has to play many roles as a mother, as a daughter, as a parent, as a housewife, as whatever she's doing a job. But the thing is, you need to be a very patient parent always, to listen to your child. How many of us are listening to our child once they are back from their school? She'll come running to you like, Mama, I wanted to tell you, go, I have some work right now. Let me just complete this, then you come. This is the permanent reply from a mother always nowadays, because they are too much involved in their work life, how to get a promotion, how to make more towards a society, like how to get recognize themselves and get a promotion, okay, to the next field and things like that, how to find a good job. But they are forgetting one thing: they have to sit with their children and spend some time, at least daily. Initial stage, you are the parent, you are the basic value based education has to come from you. You have to teach them how to, when you are going into a society, how to handle things. That is very important. As a mother, we need to spend more time with our children.
Michael, to conclude, I have a final question to you, like sex education in the school. I don't know whether today, even I don't know when it starts regarding the sex education in Kerala, but as for the parents, even today, forget parents, even teachers. When I go and talk something about sex education, when I talk something about sex, when I meet students, maybe 9th, 10th, 11th, the teachers, they show a dirty face onto me. Like, how can you talk this? Then I realized, okay, it's too early for me to talk about, sex education to the children. Don't you think the parents also need to talk and educate their children on sex? And if so, at what age should we talk to them? Maybe ages are different for the son and the daughter, but in your opinion, being a counselor, what would be the appropriate age that we can talk as a parent regarding sex, making them understand the bad touch and the good touch, and regarding the sex, what age is the right age? And that would be my concluding question to you, Michael. Over to you.
It is like when they get their first periods, first menstrual cycle. It's a good time to talk to a girl child always. That's what everyone says, like an expert says, because their change of their body languages as far and everything, hormonal level, everything happens in that age. Maybe in the age group of 10 to 12, all these kids are getting matured. So you need to teach them from that level itself, like what do you have, what all things you have to be careful about, and as you said, good touch and bad touch. And sexual education is, it has to be from the school also. They have to implement that. Maybe they can. Ideas can be different, sir, like girls together, boys together, or something like that. They can make it separately or together also. They can make see, biology is a subject always, but apart from the subject, what is happening in the social life or society, girls and boys, they have to be aware of it. Otherwise, how these kids are able to like they don't know how to react with it. That ends up in the suicidal point. Then they think like they cannot talk to anybody. As you said, if they are telling something, how parents are reacting, or will it create a problem? That is what is a concern in girls' mind always, even in boys also. So education, whenever we are talking about education, all this has to come under the education system itself. No doubt about it.
Wonderful. Um, I would like to conclude with a personal question to you. Do you appreciate your parents for sending you to a girls' school? Do you appreciate that move of them? Because would you prefer to be in a co-ed school, or did you ever feel, hey, why did my parents put me in a girls' school? I don't have boys in my school. Which is better, to put in a co-ed school where, or put your son only to that boys' school? You have to boys' school and all those things. So I have to. So which is your suggestion? Like you have three choices to put your daughter and your son. You don't have a son, but either you have a son or a daughter. There is a girls' school, there are boys' school, and there is a co-ed school. Where will you send your child?
Always, as a parent and as always, I prefer a co-ed school only.
Co-ed school.
But I studied in a girls' school, but that is different. But for
Okay.
my daughter or whatever, it's always better to understand. Unless you are not understanding about somebody else or something else, you will have that curiosity always, which in turn creates problem. In the after your schooling, when you go to a college, many of the children who are coming from the girls' school only will have to face many difficulties. That's what we feel.
I think you're right, Mythily. It's 15:03, so it's time to wind up, and it's been a wonderful time with you, talking to you about the parenthood, and you really clarified and cleared most of the doubts we have, especially making our children smile. That's what I always feel. The more they smile, the more the parents become happy. But to make your child smile, it isn't easy, because you must learn the art of
Yes.
being a good parent. So thanks once again on behalf of Amrita Vishnu Vidyapeetham. Thank you, Mythily, for being with us. And whenever we need your assistance, whenever the parents need your assistance, please accept our invitation once again
Yes.
when we invite
Thank
you
you.
again. So thank you so much. And on behalf of AVBP, I sign off from Etimadai, the headquarters of Amrita Vishnu Vidyapeetham. So till we meet again, Jai Hind. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.